What's up, everybody? Got Zach over there, Aaron over here, and we's got a game playthrough for Retro Rampage.
This is a special, baby. We're never going to finish this game, so this is going to be like a one-off, but we want to take the opportunity to talk about this game because this motherfucker just started playing it.
Yeah, well, I mean, I started playing it a few weeks back, and I think I'm on mission 33 or something, which I'll get to here in a second. So since this is such a massive undertaking, we're not doing the whole thing as Zach says, but we thought what fits well into like our normal hour-ish type of Retro Rampage show, we can do the sweet-ass hospital intro.
It's a great intro.
It's great. And you know what? I can actually comment on that, but this intro doesn't really represent the rest of the game, because I do have one thing about the game I guess I could kind of nitpick. The game's a blast, first of all. The gameplay's amazing. This intro sucked me right in. Like, whoa, this is amazing. But it does...
That nurse is hot, though.
Yeah, but I'd say the game itself really kind of plods along in a sense that they give you little pieces of story that's not even like huge bits. You do all these missions, and the story barely moves at a snail pace. But then every now and a blue moon, you get a big mission that has a nice chunk of story.
Mm-hmm.
So the pacing is really weird. And I feel like now I'm starting to get into the game where the pacing's going to pick up with that. And it's just going to kind of be a little bit more bunched together. But so where I'm at in the game, by the way, I'll say this. They kind of trolled me a little bit. Now, like I said, I don't spoil anything for me. So if I say something and you're like, oh, but wait till you find out. Okay, please don't.
I won't.
But so just let me be, if I'm missing something or I don't know something yet, let me be an ignoramus here for a second.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But when I finished like chapter, 31 or whatever it is, the one where you kill Skullface, you fight the big Metal Gear thing, whatever its name is.
Yep.
After I did that, and then it started like ending, I'm like, and the credits started rolling, the big grand credits with a big soundtrack song and all the stuff. I'm like, it ended. And I'm like, this is not the end of the game, is it? Because on one hand, I felt like I had been playing the game for a long time, so it kind of felt like, okay, this needs to wrap up, but not in the sense that just end the game, like the story needs to start coming together. So when it ended right there, or so I thought, I was like, this is fucked up, and I was very disappointed because there's so much shit that they never even like explained. Like, what the fuck? Is this what Zach meant by it was, my brother said it too, that it was kind of like unfinished?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, wow, this is really fucking unfinished if they ended it right there. Because at the time, they didn't wrap up the Eli thing. They didn't wrap up the Quiet thing. They didn't wrap up anything.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, so once it all ends and stuff, I'm waiting for the credits to finally finish rolling. And then I was going to expect there to be like a after credits audio from Ocelot, like in every game.
Mm-hmm.
And then in true fashion with this game where it's like a TV show, then all of a sudden it says like next time and it gives you clips.
Yeah.
And then I start chapter 2. I'm like, oh, did I just get fucking trolled?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, thank God. I was relieved, man, because I'm like, I was very upset. I was like, what a waste of my fucking time. That's how I felt.
Mm-hmm.
I did. Because it's like, I felt like I just sank 25 hours into a mobile game with really cool little missions without any substance.
That's kind of how the last game before this was too.
4?
What was that last one?
Peace Walker?
Yeah, Peace Walker.
Yeah, my brother essentially called this game Peace Walker 2. You know, it's like...
Yeah, that's basically what it is.
But, well, yeah, and it's funny, though, because it is canon. It's right after Peace Walker, so it blows me away why Peace Walker is a PSP sort of like side game when realistically, why that could have easily just been Metal Gear 5.
Mm-hmm.
And this one been Metal Gear 6, you know?
Yeah.
Because the chronological order, I think, should go Metal Gear Solid 3, then Metal Gear Peace Walker, then Metal Gear 5. You know? That's like the true episode 1, 2, and 3.
Right, yeah.
But anyway, so that's where I kind of left off, and I played yesterday, and I started a mission, but I got real sidetracked because I ended up getting some phone calls or whatever. But Yeah, so I've started the mission on chapter 2. So, and you know what? At first, when I saw that next time I thought I'm like, please don't be trolling me even more. Part of me thought they're giving me this whole next time thing, and then it's going to be to be continued for a game that's never coming out because Hideo Kojima left. I'm like, don't fucking do this to me. Like, it literally had me on the edge of my seat like a real TV show, so maybe that was the point.
Mm-hmm. He knew he was going to fucking leave. Look, it's like a big cock.
But I will say, though, like, at least to this point in the game, don't ruin anything for me, but this whole intro is not representative of what comes after.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
We might play a little bit after. Depends on if we're out of stuff to talk about.
Oh, there's a lot to talk about, man.
Mm-hmm. So, you're on the first mission of part 2.
Yeah, I think it's the first mission of part 2, so...
Mm-hmm.
I still don't really want to know how many missions there are total. I don't want to know how far I'm into it. Obviously, it's a very big game with side stuff because I'm only 21% through the game. I got to be honest with you. The game is so big and long, even with the story, that I probably won't do any of the side stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I probably won't. As soon as I beat the story, I'll probably be pretty done with it. But at least for a while. But I've yet to... Because can't you kind of go into free roam mode? Like when you're not on a mission and just kind of go everywhere?
Yeah.
And I've yet to do that. I don't know why I would want to, because it just kind of seems like a big, vast Afghani wasteland.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, like, because as much as I like it, you're in Afghanistan, so far at least. I mean, maybe I'll go somewhere else I don't realize yet, but so far at this point in the game, it's like Africa or Afghanistan, and it's pretty much... You get a little tired of seeing Afghanistan desert, you know? And I can only imagine, like, why would anybody want to free roam through the Afghan open world where it's just the same shit over and over again?
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, it doesn't have shit on something like Grand Theft Auto 5 or something.
Were you confused by this?
Yeah, and I felt like that was a troll, too.
Yeah, it's basically your online avatar. Whenever you play online.
But as far as, like, with the story, they're acting like they're going to do constructive surgery on you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally did it for nothing. No, I didn't. I didn't really take it too seriously. I just kind of left everything somewhat stock because I didn't know what was going on. I think it's kind of a cool touch. I didn't really realize it until now, because that's what's kind of cool about going back and watching the intro again, because now I've played some of the game and I can kind of look at some of the stuff differently. But I didn't realize how fucking skinny he was coming out of the coma.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you're playing the game, I guess he puts his meat back on. You just never really see it, but it's pretty cool. It's a nice little touch.
You know who this is?
Do I know who is?
The girl.
Why would I know who the girl is? What are you talking about? Don't ruin anything for me, man.
It's not a ruin. If you don't know, then you just didn't put it together in your mind.
Oh, it's not a ruin? The nurse?
The girl that choked out the nurse.
Oh, was it Quiet?
Yeah, you didn't realize that yet?
Oh, well, I didn't notice her there because I wasn't paying attention, but yeah, I noticed that.
Mm-hmm.
Which, like I said, I'm very curious about her character because I still don't fucking know anything. So don't ruin anything, but I do like her character, and I was really... Like I said, when I thought the game ended, I was really disappointed because I really want to know a little bit more about her character because she is kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't hurt that she's like fucking naked the whole game.
Mm-hmm. Did you find her on Instagram?
She's on Instagram?
Yeah, she did a whole playthrough of the game on YouTube.
Who? Quiet?
Yeah, the girl that plays her.
Oh, the girl that plays her.
Mm-hmm.
Like, is it actually her physical likeness?
It looks just, yeah. They completely scanned her into the game and everything.
No, I'll have to find it.
Somebody's gonna be like, that exists? Why the fuck am I watching these two guys play the game?
Oh, she's actually talking.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so yeah, at the time I didn't put it together, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I was just starting the game out. That's cool, man. I'd like to hear her talk eventually, and I mean, just the whole humming thing over and over again. Which, by the way, I actually crept up on her when she was in her perch, because once she joined my team, I always keep her as my buddy. There's no reason to go back to the horse and shit.
I always keep the dog.
I don't have a dog.
You didn't get the dog?
No, how do I get the dog?
You should have ran into him while you were in between missions. I guess since you're not doing in between mission stuff.
No, man. Does the dog attack people for you?
Yeah. When you find him, he's a puppy, and then you take him back to base, and he eventually grows up, and you can take him with you.
Never.
Like, since he can sniff out enemies, he'll mark them, like, so that you don't have to, like, look through your binoculars and mark all of them. And he'll, like, sniff out, like, wildlife, like rats and birds and stuff. And then you can see them on your map.
Yeah, I never saw a dog or a puppy or anything. So maybe I'm missing out.
You fucked up. Maybe look up where you find the dog. Maybe it's like the first, like, fucking one side mission. The side missions are pretty fun. Like, I sometimes I like to just, like sometimes you just want to play something and you don't want to follow a story. You just want to listen to like a podcast or something else.
Yeah, you just want to mindlessly play something. Yeah,
those are great for that because there's no story. It's just like, oh yeah, rescue the hostages in this location, and you just sneak in and all that stuff.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing more of Quiet shit now that I'm watching this. Obviously, she was, like I said, no spoilers, but obviously she was very different here than she is when I meet her in the game. Like, she seems like a more human in this right here.
Yeah.
She was talking. She was showing pain. She saw, so however she became a fucking alien or where the fuck she is must have happened after all this shit. But, yeah, I don't see why I could leave her, though, because I love having her as a sniper, man. It's awesome. I mean, did you use her a lot, or did you just pretty much get spoiled with a dog?
I like the dog, yeah. So I do use her occasionally because she marks people on your map too, like the dog does.
I don't think I'm using the game to its full capabilities. Like I don't do any markings. Like sometimes I have trouble reading the map. Like I've put it on your iDroid, and I'm looking at the iDroid, like I don't fucking see where I'm going.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes it's hard. Yeah, like I don't really know what I'm looking for sometimes. But
usually just like a little yellow square marker or something.
Yeah, that I'll use that, but sometimes that won't be there for some reason. But sometimes it's frustrating because it'll be like, it's on your iDroid.
It usually goes away if you're in the vicinity of the area.
Yeah. So I know that. What does he say? What does he say over and over again? Don't forget, the clock doesn't stop while you're using your iDroid.
Yeah.
But he's like, but you could still, it's like, I get so tired and fucking say that. Like, I fucking get it, dude.
Where they break the fourth wall. They don't do it as blatantly. Like, they'll do it, but in a video game way. Like, they used to do it, like, even beyond that. Like, where Psycho Mantis is telling you to put your controller down and shit.
Mm-hmm. Which, that was still genius, man. That was so great. And he would read your memory card.
Yeah. Did you ever play the GameCube version? He'll actually, instead of, like, they made it all Konami games before that, and all Nintendo games.
On the GameCube one?
Yeah, so if you had, like, you
like Super Smash Brothers.
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, that was so genius, man. But yeah, I don't know. I like Quiet. See, you couldn't use, I mean, I guess you're meant to have an arsenal of buddies so you can use them for different levels. I'm pretty sure different missions are ideal for different ones.
Mm-hmm.
But like, for example, I don't know, it's somewhere in the 20s where you have to fight all the sniper skulls. There's like 5 sniper skulls. You couldn't do that with a dog. Like you need, like Quiet really helps. She only lasts so long. Eventually she has to get lifted out because she dies. But man, I couldn't do it without her.
Mm-hmm.
That was really fun. And I like how the bosses are somewhat challenging. Like, not too challenging, but some of the boss battles, they take me a handful of times.
Yeah.
Which is just right. Like, it's not too...
In between missions, when you go back to your base, do you ever go down and see Quiet? Or do you just go...
Yeah, when she's sitting there in her thong and whatever, and she's just kind of like...
Yeah.
And she's got her top off, yeah.
She's hot, baby. She's a good-looking woman.
Dude, like they have, not that I was looking, I was going on, I was looking up some kind of stuff, like on a forum or like a game FAQs type of thing for some stuff in this game. And somebody put in a forum one time, it was a link and I clicked it and it was fucking, it was porn, dude. It was like her sucking fucking boss's dick.
Sweet.
And she was getting railed in the back by Miller.
I got to seize that.
And it was like a compilation. I couldn't look away. And it was like a compilation of her getting railed by everybody in the game. And I don't know how people make this shit. Because the graphics looked almost legit to the game.
Like, yeah, it's like probably PC mods. I don't know. Yeah.
Like, it's absolutely crazy, like, how people... First of all, it's crazy how people have this much time and they fucking actually waste their time doing that.
See, this is a fucking great intro. I remember like playing this for the first time. My heart was pumping. I was ready to fucking play this. That's just like all of them. Like the original. Whenever you get out of your scuba gear and you're in that area and you realize, oh, it's like the cutscene ends and then you get to walk around a little bit and the credits are still going while you're playing the game like a movie. It's really cool.
Yeah, I mean, so this intro, more than the rest of the game has so far, it almost gave you like a horror feel. Like it was tension, man. Mm-hmm. Like this part that's coming up here soon, where you know you're playing dead in the hallway, you know, while he's going through torching the bodies.
Yeah,
and then you got guys on one end of the hallway coming for you, shooting the bodies is what they're doing one by one. Mm-hmm. And then you have the flame guy on the other. It's just scary, man. Like you start feeling it.
Yeah.
Like, oh man, they're going to get him. They're going to shoot him.
You know how like this game brought a lot of new players to the series? Like there were people playing this that are like, what the I never played any of the other ones. I remember like seeing Let's Plays of people playing through this and like they're like scratching their head at the like the science fiction stuff. And it's just like science fiction's always been in these games.
It's essentially... It's a hodgepodge of all these movies that he was a fan of. There's obviously inspiration of Escape from New York. There's James Bond. Mm-hmm. The villains are always fucking James Bond, dude. All these villains in all these games are always over the top James Bond. What else am I thinking? There's obvious ones I'm missing here.
I think one of his original things was like The Great Escape.
Maybe like Blade Runner 2.
Yeah.
I don't know. But like it's a hodgepodge of all these different films. And you can see the inspirations and they just kind of throw them together and they work. Obviously Rambo's a big one too. Mm-hmm. You know, Colonel Campbell is the fucking Colonel on Rambo. Mm-hmm. He's modeled even in later games. I know in the old on the old 8-bit fucking Metal Gear games, he made Snake look like Michael Biehn on the cartridges. He looked like fucking Mel Gibson in the game. He looked like Tom Berenger too. So it was all these things. But Colonel Campbell, he still looked like the Rambo guy even in the modern games. Mm-hmm. And even he's kind of a Rambo, kind of the lone wolf, kind of one-man army, you know, Solid Snake. Mm-hmm. Him too.
Yeah.
So it's great, man. I love it. I think it's really cool. He made something really unique, but he clearly just blended together all these fucking awesome things. And it works. It's so weird because, I don't know, the supernatural element to it is what makes it. I mean, I guess. It's like tactical espionage. Okay, cool. With a bunch of weird fucking sci-fi shit that doesn't make sense. Mm-hmm. I know you're playing the game, so you can't see it, but I did send you a link.
Okay. I remember back whenever Part 3 came out, remember like they had the like previews. Oh, can we see his dick? I want to see his dick though. But yeah, I remember like me and Mitchell were waiting for that game to come out. And I remember he was like the scene where the soldiers are on the little hover things. He's like, why the fuck they put that? We don't have that shit now. Why don't they have it back then? I'm like, dude, it's always science fiction. There's always that shit in here.
Well, even this game, it's in the 80s, and there's fucking crazy ass mech shit. You know, it's obviously part mech game too. I mean, it's all that crazy shit, but yeah, there's all kind. Well, think about it. this is in the 80s, and Snake has something like the iDroid, which is pretty high tech, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What'd you think of them adding like music? That's the first time like David Bowie's on the soundtrack.
Yeah, it's cool. It was funny. I was actually pondering that. I was in a mission when I grabbed a particular song, and
the name of their outfit is Diamond Dogs, which is named after a David Bowie album and song also.
Yeah, no, for sure. But I was thinking about it, and I was like, wow, this is a really cool little touch. But I was also wondering, because this game's notorious for having such an insane budget and it going over budget.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, it's a really cool touch to have these collectibles, but was it worth all the money it probably cost to get all the royalty rights?
I don't know. Yeah.
The copyrights? And I'm thinking, I don't know.
It wasn't needed. Like,
no, that's what I'm saying. It wasn't necessary. I said, well, if they wanted to save money and they scrapped this idea, we never knew it was there, would it affect how I'm enjoying this game right now? And I came to the conclusion that it wouldn't. It's literally just something that's kind of extra, kind of cool. And I'm like, man, they probably spent a lot of money on just this extra cool thing.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but I like it. It's cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like I ever really listen to the music for very long. I find it. I'm like, I just fucking take the tape.
Mm-hmm.
I don't sit there and just fucking bebop around to it.
I love that theme that was made for Peace Walker. It's called Heaven's Divide. They made it was like the ending song on the credits, and they made like an orchestrated version of it. It's pretty sweet.
I'll have to listen to it. I never actually played through Peace Walker. I bought the
if you play through this first, you can't play through Peace Walker. It's just like a fucking handicapped version of this.
Yeah, no, I agree. So I thought about that too. I probably won't. Not to mention, this one kind of recaps the story of Peace Walker, basically.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
in Ground Zeroes it does, but no, I have the HD collection for PS3 that came with 2, 3, and I think Peace Walker.
Yeah, Xbox actually made Peace Walker backwards compatible, so hopefully they put the rest of the games on that HD collection too. We could stream those sometime.
Yeah, that would be cool. I played it briefly, and then I kind of realized what kind of game it was with the missions, and I'm like, I wasn't into it. I'm like, it didn't feel like a legit game. But now that I know it's like this, I should have played it.
Mm-hmm.
I should have played it before I ever played this, and now I feel like I missed out, because some people absolutely love that game. Some people, it's their favorite one.
Yeah, I've heard people.
Yeah, and so I kind of regret it.
Oh, fuck, I died.
But honestly, I would have did the same thing to this game had they not legitimately called it Metal Gear Solid 5, right? It's like, oh, okay, so this is 100%, you know, I got to play it, like, regardless if it's, like, mission-based. And I heard it was like Peace Walker. But just them calling it Peace Walker and it being on the PSP and then it being mission-based, it kind of gave me this taste in my mouth that it wasn't going to be the same kind of experience, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But, like I said, I just missed out.
Yeah.
What's that fucking Metal Gear Acid games, the card game one?
Yeah, like the card battle game.
Those aren't canon, though, are they? No.
I don't think so.
They never talk about that shit. This is awesome, man.
Mm-hmm. These people are fucking assholes. I like how, like, his head looks huge on his skinny body.
That's it's cool, man. It's probably how it really would look.
Yeah.
When people look emaciated like that, it's like totally I don't know, fucking hungry, starved, fucking disheveled.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got those weird big lips like people do have when they skin. He reminds me of Tom Hardy. When Tom Hardy loses weight and he gets real skinny in movies, just makes his head look big and his fucking lips look fucking massive.
Mm-hmm.
Then when he's got like meat on his bones.
Run!
There's some brutal stuff. Like the intro to this is pretty, or like the end of Ground Zeroes and this and stuff. It's pretty brutal, man. I think it's, and then the scene when you kill Skullface, which by the way, I guess we should say spoilers for anybody that's never played this game.
Mm-hmm.
But when you kill Skullface, at least to where I was in the game, I don't fucking know if he like comes back from the dead. I don't know. Don't tell me. But even that's pretty cool, man. Fucking brutal, where they're all taking turns blowing off his limbs, you know, one for everything they did to them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, that's fucking awesome. And what's his face? Huey or Dewey Emmerich, whatever, the fucking ancestor of fucking Hal Emmerich.
Yeah, they mention him in part 3. Or that scene where his picture's hanging on the wall, that one dude that you meet.
Yeah, I'm sure they do. Like I can fucking remember this though. All the way back to go. Yeah, it's funny though. This is the only series where if you play the newest game that's been released, you'll probably catch new shit when you go back and play the old ones you never thought.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. He's pretty cool. He's basically just like Otacon. I thought it was funny when he went up and he actually killed Skullface. He's like, I got my revenge.
Mm-hmm.
I want to bust his punk ass because I'm like, hey, we want him to suffer. Like, you did him a favor, you little bitch.
Fucking Otacon. Always crying like a little bitch. Remember that video of me and Mac playing part 4?
Yeah, vaguely.
He was playing it on hard and he kept dying. He was getting pissed off at Otacon and Ocelot. He's like, that part where like Ocelot does the and it shows his face. Yeah. He's like, I don't care that your fucking mustache curls up a little bit when you get angry. He's all like angry playing it. It's hilarious.
Dude, like, yeah, Otacon's a little bitch in that game. Naomi!
He's like, he's always fucking crying. He's such a little bitch.
He's always crying. He's always in love with some little bitch in every game. Like, get over it, dude.
Hey, Sniper Wolf was hot.
Yeah, and so was Naomi, but he's like in love with everybody.
Oh wait, Sniper Wolf just looked all blocky in the version you're used to.
Yeah, well, I saw her picture. No, you never. Did you ever see her picture on the
GameCube version?
Odec or whatever, codec? No, I'm in the PlayStation one.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Sniped with a wool. Yeah, you must have sold a snake. Yeah, okay.
They completely changed the way what's her name looked. In part 4, she looked like
you talking Meryl?
The sister of Frank, the ninja.
Oh,
Naomi, is that
Naomi?
Right? Yeah.
Naomi, yeah.
She looked like fucking Monica Bellucci or whatever.
Lewinsky?
Monica Bellucci.
Who the fuck is Monica Bellucci?
She's an actress. Look her up. I think that's who they modeled her to look like.
Monica Bellucci. I think you're getting a name wrong here, man.
No, she was in Irreversible, or whatever.
I'm gonna look it up right now.
She's related to the guy, fucking the dude from Animal House.
Got it. No, it's spelled differently. I found her.
Yeah,
she's hot though, man.
Mm-hmm. I think that's who they modeled her after.
Yeah, they made her a brunette, and she was clearly a blonde in the first game.
I think she actually mentions in the first game that she dyed her hair blonde.
Yeah, it's all good, man. I gotta say though, this game by contrast is so much different than 4, because 4 is so heavy on the story. I was just totally enraptured by 4. It's not a game. I think I've stated it before. It's not a game I'm so quick to go back. I've never played it a second time, because it's such a great experience the first time. But the thought of, now that I know what happens, the thought of going back and knowing that I'm gonna watch about 20 hours of fucking movie footage throughout the whole thing.
Did you cry at the ending of part 4?
I thought it was a great ending.
I cried.
I don't think I cried, but it was...
And it's mostly the fucking soundtrack that does it.
I tell you what.
Beautiful soundtrack.
I can't lie. After playing this one, it makes you want to go back and play 4 again to get the cap off, to get the end chapter one more time. But the whole ending with, obviously, him seeing Big Boss at the gravesite and him running off with Otacon. Dude, that was a total Rambo ending. Because he's Rambo. He's the anti-hero.
Did you think that was going to happen? Did you think that Big Boss was still alive?
I can't remember. I
remember there were rumors, and I kind of believe that he might still be alive.
Yeah, I didn't read any rumors or hear anything like that. I think it probably came as a surprise. I don't know. But all of it was great, man.
The fans of the series, like, they fucking dive in and just dissect everything. So yeah, there were people like in part 1, whenever Campbell says that, the terrorists, their demands are the body of Big Boss, and then Snake goes, why don't you just give him the body? And then he gets kind of timid, like, there's just a point where it's like, I don't believe what he said there. So
yeah, but even then you have to, like, man, to catch all that shit, you really have to. All these games together, if you played all these games, even if you played them all together in a marathon, much less like I have, and they're all kind of spread out over the years, you're not going to remember all those little nuances in every game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I fucking don't remember that. Like, oh yeah, you mean, oh, that, when I played Metal Gear Solid 4 and when Big Boss showed up, I'm like, oh, so that's what Campbell meant when he got all timid for a second in the first game that I played 10 years ago. There's just, the story's so convoluted and big.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like every game has so many holes in it, and it takes till part 4 for them to fill in all those holes. It's just, yeah, it'd be even hard to digest playing them all together, especially getting through part 2, which is the most convoluted of all the stories, man.
Yeah, you gotta pay attention when you're playing through the game. You'll miss stuff.
2, you really have to pay attention.
Mm-hmm.
But after playing 4, 2's really unnecessary. They kind of like recap 2 very nicely.
I still like part 2.
I don't. I mean, I think by normal game standards, it's a good game.
Yeah.
But by standards of this series, it's definitely the weak link. But and honestly, in part 2, I just kind of get tired of Big Shell.
I love that environment. Actually, I never get tired of it.
Oh, it feels like the base in this game.
Right? Yeah.
That's why I don't like hanging out the base, because it just reminds me of Big Shell.
Mm-hmm.
And no, I didn't. I got so tired of hanging out at Big Shell all the time. I got tired of it. I'm like, this is fucking, yeah, something about it, and like it just wasn't. Following up the first one, it was nowhere near as cool as Shadow Moses.
Mm-hmm.
Shadow Moses was fucking awesome.
You know what's funny is I played the second one first.
Really?
Yeah.
And
I didn't even play the original first. I played the GameCube version first.
Okay, so you played the second one, then the GameCube Twin Snakes,
and then the original, yeah.
So when you played Twin Snakes after part 2, how was your opinion compared to part 2?
I loved it, yeah.
You liked it better in part 2?
I think so. I don't know. I think I do like it better story-wise and everything, but like, of course story-wise actually, but it's just, yeah, there's the special place because it's the first one I played, so I still like part 2.
Raiden's just not as fun, and you know what? I hate Raiden's story, man.
I don't like Raiden at all either, but
him talking to fucking Rose and Rose calling about their fucking troubled relationship, and it's all like, okay, he's in the middle of this huge mission, and Rose is like, Jack, nothing. What, Rose? Tell me. I can't.
Jack the Ripper.
It's like, why am I watching a soap opera, and why are they even dealing with this right now? Like, if I was that Big Shell and my life was on the line, I'd be like, bitch, can this wait? Can your drama wait?
Yeah, she would just wait till you're about ready to do something big to drop all this shit on you.
And she would like, she would drop shit on you, and then she would not finish because it's like, no, I'm being a burden. Like, then why'd you bring it up, bitch? Yeah, it was annoying. And of course, it's got that part with Campbell. Where he starts freaking out like a robot.
I love, yeah, that part where he's like, at one point he starts giving you the mission briefing from the original Metal Gear on the MSX.
Yeah.
And then that part where he's like, he says something fucking hilarious. I'll put it in the video right here or something.
I hear it's amazing when the famous purple stuffed worm in Flapjaw space with the tuning fork does a raw blink on Harry Carey rock. I need scissors. 61.
Yeah, he starts acting all wacky, but yeah, the game itself, the whole thing with Solidus is just fucking, because obviously, like I said, 4 sums up all the key points of 2 very nicely, and I don't need it, because it's like in 2 when they're talking about Solidus and the Patriots and Guns of the Patriot and also, it's so convoluted, I can't keep up, man. But 4, it gives you a summary really nicely, and if I recall, when he gets Big Boss's corpse, it's really just Solidus's corpse, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because they share the same genes.
Right, yeah.
And Solidus is like the perfect clone.
Yeah.
Yeah, whereas like so Solidus is the perfect one. Even though Solidus looked kind of fat.
It's probably just the jumping graphics from part 1 to part 2. What do you think of this character?
He looks like something out of fucking God of War, but he's cool, man. He's real mysterious, and I'm like I said, there's so much, even at this point in the game, there's so much mystique to it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even with the Skullface thing, I still don't know who the fuck he is.
Yeah.
I still don't really know who he is. I mean, he gives you like some little background to who he is as a character and what his motives are, but he supposedly, quote unquote, died as of right now, and I don't know who he is. I don't know who Quiet is. I don't know who the man on fire is, and I don't know who the fucking little psychic is that's like Mantis. I'm sure I'll find out shit, but right now it's still very, very vague.
Yeah. His ass is fucking banging, though. I want to fucking lick the fucking crusties off his hole.
Oh, that's gross, man. Would you do it for $1 million?
$1 million, probably.
What if it was taxed though? So you only get about $600K at the end of it.
I'd still do it, probably.
Oh, girl, you could probably get over it fast.
I'd probably try to haggle. I'd be like, "Can I get $2 million?"
So I can keep $1 million. Stop making me dizzy, asshole.
Oops.
Fuck are you doing? Going in circles.
I forgot that part. Shoot that bitch. Fly, fat ass, fly. I've been working on my J impression. Noise, noise, noise. I'm excited for that new one to come out. Whenever the fuck it does.
Yeah, who knows? I'm not a Kevin Smith fan. I've already said it many times.
Fuck you.
I like Kevin Smith as a person. Like, I like his podcasts, and I usually watch his like vlogs and shit. And he seems like a real nice, likable guy. I just, his movies, they're just whatever.
You don't like any of them?
There was a time where I enjoyed some of them. Like, I enjoyed Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. I enjoyed Clerks. I think right now, as of now, I still think his best movie is Clerks 2. Because when I saw that, I died laughing. I thought it was so funny. And I still think that, I haven't seen that one in forever, but I think that one would hold up if I watched it. Because I still remember the jokes, and it's funny. And, it's like the first couple times I watched Dogma, I liked it all right. I liked Mallrats all right. But I don't think I like them anymore too much. They're just kind of whatever. I'd say Mallrats is not a great movie, but I think there's probably something out of all of them about that one that's kind of watchable. Like, you could just probably turn it on and let it play in the background or something, kind of like a Wayne's World type thing. Mm-hmm. Because it's so light, you know?
Yeah.
The content, it's not Dogma.
It's just Clerks in a mall.
Clerks in a mall. It's very, light in content. And Chasing Amy, I watched that once, and I'm like, yeah, no thanks, man. I don't know.
I watched that once, too. I always want to go back to it. I probably like it more the older I am now.
And yeah, it's just, I don't remember much about it. I guess, I remember it's like the love triangle, or it's a weird movie for Kevin Smith. It's in that whole universe, but it's just...
Apparently that was the first movie he made where he showed his mom and she actually liked it. She was like, I identify with that movie in more ways you'll ever know.
Oh, I mean, why was it
He's like, what?
Was it the closet homosexuality shit?
I don't know.
Which, that stuff's weird.
He tells a funny story about it on An Evening with Kevin Smith.
It's kind of fun how he wraps everything together, though. It's like, Chasing Amy's one of the ones I saw later. And, for example, like, I saw Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back way before I saw Chasing Amy. And obviously at the end of Jay and Silent Bob, where everybody's leaving the movie, the Blunt Man and Chronic movie, and then you see Jason Lee leaving with his boyfriend. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't really get it. But then, of course, you watch Chasing Amy and he comes out of the closet, whatever, and it's like, oh, okay, he became gay. Mm-hmm. All those little things.
Did you know before they decided to do Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, they were actually going to do a Blunt Man and Chronic movie, and it was going to be like a comic book movie?
No.
That would have been funny.
Avenge me!
You ready to have your balls busted?
You balls busted, Blunt Man?
I got punched in the dick by a guy named Cockknocker.
Yeah, that part's funny.
How'd they get that dude to agree to do that? Just fucking make a mockery of his most known movie.
Mark Hamill will do anything for money. What the fuck are you talking about?
It's pretty funny, though.
I can't believe, I don't know. Just some of the people that were associated with Kevin Smith, and now they're really too good for him. Like, the fact that he got Matt Damon to do fucking cameos and shit. because he was in Dogma, and then they did the Good Will Hunting 2, and he got all the actors from that to do that like kind of bit, the Good Will Hunting 2 hunting season. I don't know, and he talks a lot about Ben Affleck not wanting anything to do with him anymore.
Really?
Yeah. He got too big for his britches. He forgot where he came from.
Look at that fucking ginger. That should have been what they called him, Ginger Mantis.
Which I do have my theories. I'm afraid to mention them.
I'm not going to tell you nothing.
But I do have my theories on some of these characters. And I'm waiting. I'm just kind of keeping it to myself because I'm waiting to see how the story.
Go ahead and say them. I'm not going to say anything. We'll see if you're right.
No, I mean,
right.
No. I don't know.
And you might want to stay away from the comic section of this video when it goes out too. There could be.
I'm hoping I can. Oh, you're right. Fuck me.
There could be assholes that are sitting there like, oh yeah, when he said that, I laughed because you want to stay away from that shit.
Yeah, so I will be careful. It's hard because I see the comments as soon as they pop up on my phone.
Oh yeah.
We might have to turn off comments temporarily. I don't know. I'm not too worried about it. But I think there's obviously some correlation between the little psychic and Eli. They're both little shits, and they obviously have some connection. There's nothing, I don't know anything about Eli yet, but clearly there's something. Part of me thinks that Eli and even the little psychic are somehow part of the La Enfant Terribles project, the cloning shit.
Les enfants terribles.
Yeah, don't confirm or deny anything. Yeah, just keep doing what you're doing. But this is just, I'm hoping there is something to do with that. Like, I would absolutely love it if someone like Eli was. That'd be really cool if he was Solid Snake. But what if he was like Gray Fox? Because the story is, like I said, I'd have to sit there and read a giant novel of all the story shit because it's just so spaced out, and I miss little things. So there's probably a million things people could say. No, if you remember the first game, it conflicts with this, so it couldn't be him. I don't remember all the shit, but I do know that Gray Fox was a child of war, and he grew up in the battlefield, and he grew up as a soldier with a gun in his hands. It would make total sense timing wise if Eli was Gray Fox, right? Part of me hopes they somehow work the project with the twin snakes in here, the cloning. I haven't played the end of the game yet, but I'm hoping they somehow bring it full circle and at least kind of hint at that. But something like that. But I'm waiting for it. But I'm hoping they explain all this shit with different characters. Like, I want to know who all these people are. Fuck, man. I'm hoping for like a plot twist that like Quiet is the surrogate to fucking the twin snakes. You know?
Oh yeah.
I'm waiting for Boss and Quiet to fuck. That's because I watched that porno.
It was well, that's actually already been confirmed in part 4 that it was the chick from part 3 that was the surrogate, right?
Oh, Boss? I don't remember.
The blonde chick.
Yeah, see, like I said, that's exactly what I'm talking about, where anybody could call out my ideas, because it's like, oh, if you remember in part 3, I'm kind of rusty on like the minor details just because there's just...
This is one of those series, like, whenever a new one comes out, I always go back and play through the old ones, because I forget parts of the story and stuff, yeah.
There's so much shit that flies at you. Well, a game like 4 was awesome, because they literally kind of, like, brief you on everything that happened in the first 3. They fill in all the holes, too. But yeah, it's not going to work for a game like this.
Whenever you complete the game, too... Like, one of the first things you want to do is, like, go to YouTube and look up the planned, like, Kojima finale he had, too.
Because it was kind of rushed or unfinished?
Yeah, that's been confirmed that, like, he didn't get to finish what he wanted to do with it.
Yeah, that kind of bums me out because it kind of sets me up for disappointment.
It really does. Like, I remember when I found that out, it made me want to, because this was like my favorite game of the year, but finding stuff like that out always makes me like, that makes me want to drop it a couple pegs, but I couldn't because the game's too fun.
Yeah, that's kind of setting it up for disappointment. So it's like I'm expecting to be disappointed, and all these things I want in a conclusion and shit.
You don't expect to be disappointed. Just because we know that he didn't get to finish it exactly the way he wanted it.
But he at least wrapped it up, right?
Yeah.
Okay. He just didn't get to do it in the way he wanted to necessarily.
Mm-hmm.
We're getting towards the end here. You're about to hop on that bike or truck or something.
Yeah. We can end it, or we can play like mission 2 and see kind of what, so we can get some of like the actual gameplay, because the gameplay is great. This is actually the best gameplay in the whole series, I think.
No, for sure. Well, you still have to go to that part where this asshole's chasing you through the woods when you're in the ambulance here.
You just gave it away. They thought I was gonna die there.
Oh.
I ran out of bullets.
Yeah, it's a bummer, man, because like I said, it's totally different than 4, whereas 4 was like all cinematic, but it's almost... Man, I get it. I had a blast playing it. It wrapped up all the loose ends, and it was so much... And we've talked about it in prior podcasts, but I'll never forget when I beat 4, and I'm like, it was past my bedtime. I had to wake up at 5 in the morning for work, and I'm like, okay, I beat it. I'll stay up for the ending. Ending took an hour and a half.
The ending cutscene's over an hour and a half.
It's like, holy shit. It's so insane. But this game's the exact opposite, man. It's like all gameplay with like... And I think if you add up all the bits of story that are here and you combine them, it would probably be pretty big. It's just that there's so many missions and so much gameplay in here that it just spreads it all out dramatically and doesn't feel like as much.
Like a show, like it's being set up as.
Yeah.
Where you get, pieces of story throughout the entire, season or whatever.
No, like the subplot that moves with every episode.
Yeah.
But every episode has its own little standalone shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I gotcha. Makes sense.
Fuck the copy.
I mean, Hideo Kojima, he's a genius at what he does, and I do respect him as, he's a filmmaker for video games, essentially. But
he's been referred to as the George Lucas of video games, which I disagree with, just because I think George Lucas is a fucking hack.
I think he's a bit of a hack, too. But do you think, like George Lucas, well, maybe not, I guess George Lucas had Indiana Jones, do you think Hideo Kojima at this point is kind of a one-trick horse right now?
We'll see with this new game coming.
But he's had other games, right? Snatcher's a cult classic, but nobody...
A game that you can't play in direct sunlight, I heard.
What?
Yeah, apparently there's a mechanic where you can't play it in direct sunlight because it's a Game Boy Advance game or something. And
what? Snatcher?
Oh, no, not Snatcher. I'm thinking of the game that's on Game Boy Advance. Snatcher is the game
Sega
that's
CD.
Like... Yeah. And then Psychonauts, or whatever they're called.
No,
Psychonauts.
Not Psychonauts.
Police Knots.
Police Knots. Yeah, that's the one.
I never played either of those.
Okay, so Snatcher is kind of a cult classic, but no one gave a shit about Snatcher on the Sega CD back in the day.
It's like what's it called? The movie?
Yeah, it's like a Blade Runner.
Yeah.
It's got like the replicants and shit, and it's literally just Blade Runner.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to even say there's like ties in, like it's not intentional, but there's like Metal Gear shit in there. Like I think one of your little buddies in it is a little Metal Gear. There's like little things.
And then he did that Zone of the Enders.
He did the Zone of the Enders too, but none of those games really... I can't believe Zone of the Enders got an HD collection because no one really ever cared about it.
Yeah, that was surprising.
And so nothing he's done has ever really matched the height of this. So we'll see about Death Stranding, but it's getting... Death Stranding has a lot of buzz. I do think Death Stranding will get a lot more coverage.
Oh, yeah.
And I think if the game is great, it'll be his next big hit.
That's a game that, like, that's gonna sell fucking crazy just because of his name on it.
Nowadays, yeah. So now this might... But like I said, he's already got the magnifying glass on him, so all he has to do is make it good, and then it'll be the next big thing. Mm-hmm. But the magnifying glass is on him. He's going to have the press, and they're hyping it up. If it sucks, he's fucked.
Since he loves movies, because that's always been one of his things. That was kind of his first love, was movies, and he loves American movies. What do you like? I'm sure there's some like movie stuff that's going into the making of this game. So I kind of, every time I see a trailer or something, I think like, what could he be trying to tap into?
Do you think it's weird though? I mean, does it take you out of it that it's gonna have fucking Norman Reedus as the star?
I don't know. We'll see. I mean,
and they couldn't even. I get it. He was probably filming The Walking Dead, but they couldn't even be bothered to change his hairstyle and stuff in The Walking Dead.
He probably wanted it like that. Who knows? I'm sure he thought about that.
I don't know, because it just makes you feel like, I mean, maybe the game will be so good and the story will be so enrapturing and the character itself will be so good that I'm just afraid to associate him with Daryl on The Walking Dead. But I hope it's all so good that I'm convinced he's somebody else in this game, you know?
Mm-hmm. I won't have a problem because I didn't even watch The Walking Dead when it was on. It still is on.
Yeah. I liked Norman Reedus before The Walking Dead.
Right, yeah.
But the thing is I don't hate Norman Reedus. I mean, he's still like the best part about that show. But yeah, you just kind of got fucking sick of him. It's like, all right, now before you were this sort of cult actor, and now you're fucking Walking Dead guy, and now all I see you as is Walking Dead guy. But like, I liked him. I mean, the Boondock Saints is just okay, but I did like him in the Boondock Saints, and he was in Blade 2, and yeah, I liked him in Cigarette Burns with Udo Kier, dude. He was good in that. But, he's just popped up in, like, B shit. A lot of B shit back in the day.
That episode of Masters of Horror was better than that last John Carpenter full-length movie.
Pro-Life? Oh, the full-length? Well, John Carpenter also did Pro-Life, which I actually like, too.
Oh, yeah.
He did 2 of them.
I don't remember that one very much.
Yeah, I went back and rewatched it. I'm like, oh, this is pretty good, because I didn't remember it too well, because I have it on Blu-ray.
Oh, yeah, that's the one that's like at an abortion clinic or something.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember it. Season 2 was kind of a downgrade, though, but there were still good episodes. Like, Dario Argento's was good.
Peltz? Was Peltz on season 2? Yeah.
Like, there was like 2 directors who came back and did another good one. But
Dario Argento, what was the second one he did? Because I know he did Jennifer, but what was the second one?
He did Jennifer, and he did Peltz.
Oh, Peltz is Dario Argento?
Yeah.
Okay. Which really, do those really seem like Argento type things?
Not really.
Yeah, they don't.
He's more like just atmosphere and cinematography. He probably didn't write them, though. He's just hired to direct it.
Gosh, what's the last one I watched? It's a really fucking cool idea, man. The one that has the chick from The Waterboy in it, in The Craft.
Oh, the one with the 2 killers.
Yeah, that's such a cool story, man.
Is it called like Desperation Road or something like that?
I don't remember, but that story is awesome, and it screams like it's a story. It seems like a story that came out of a Stephen King anthology book. Mm-hmm. It's just such a cool little anthology story, and it's just a neat little twist. Yeah, because you have the serial killer that drives down the highway picking up drifters to kill them, and then he picks up the drifter that hitchhikes and kills the drivers. Mm-hmm. And it's just this fucking insane. It's such a cool idea, man. I love it.
Hell yeah. That one mission did take us almost an hour to do.
That's crazy.
Fuck it, Kojima.
So, what happened with... He didn't finish it because... Oh, shit, I'm yawning, man. It's late over here, guys.
They ran out of money and...
Is it because of the money thing and the pressure just to hurry up and fucking finish it?
And Konami are assholes. And they were probably planning on canning him before he even finished.
But why? Was it because he went over budget and he kind of fucking... I mean...
There was a while there where people were just like, what the fuck are they doing? Like, there was a point where it's like, this is going to be the last game we ever put out. Remember that?
Yeah.
And it was like, we're going to do these pachinko machines. Pachinko. But I guess that didn't last long because they put out the zombie version of this game.
And thank God that's just going to be something that's forgotten about because it just taints it.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I forgot it existed too. Like, I don't even want to think about it. It's just such a reject.
And what's funny is, like, they could just... Why aren't they putting out an HD collection for the new systems? They could just be milking the title.
Yeah, I know. And I would... I don't know. I'd at least appreciate that. It's like buying a band's greatest hits that was put out by their former label.
Mm-hmm.
It's still the fucking hits.
Yeah.
Just didn't get to say so from. Well, but what did they ever actually say, or is there probably some legal shit where he couldn't talk about it? Why they separated?
I think so. Yeah, I think it's all like kind of wrapped up and shit like that. Remember there was that Game Awards where that dude Jeff Healy or whatever his name is, he was like he kind of came out and said that Konami stopped him from coming. Everybody booed. Did you see that? And then Quiet, the girl that does Quiet, did a song from the soundtrack.
Oh, she sang?
Yeah, she did like a live performance.
What's her name? I want to find her on Instagram.
Stephanie Justin.
Justin. All right. Is it Stephanie the traditional way of spelling it, or is it Steph with the F?
I'm not sure. I'd have to look.
Okay, Stephanie. How do you spell Justin?
Just sound it out, I think.
So juice.
Actually, I think it's with an S. I don't remember. Put it into Google. It'll find it. It'll find her.
Stephanie. I remember when there was all the uproar about when they first were announcing stuff from this game, and they showed Quiet, and everybody was freaking out that she was naked. Basically, it's like that's a little unnecessary, and all the feminists were coming out of the woodwork.
That was the beginning of this shit, where they're like all pissed off about games now.
Yeah, and I'm glad they didn't really bend to them.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because, I mean, I think as he said, there's a reason why she's naked. And they do kind of explain it, with her having to breathe through her skin and shit like that. But it is still kind of like, come on, you just want to make her naked.
Who gives a fuck? He puts hot chicks in every single one of the games.
I know, he does. But yeah, it's like the half naked thing, though. But it's funny, though. Like, oh, no, it's okay because there's a reason. It's like, yeah, but you still could have had her.
Imagine if we were offended because we could see the guy's ass. That whole last scene.
Oh, I don't care. I'm just saying.
Exactly.
I'm just saying I think it's funny where it's like, oh, he has a reason, and I still think the reason could have been dodged if he really wanted to.
I'm glad he didn't. Fuck them. It's his art. Let him do what he wants.
I agree. Okay, Stephanie Justin. Revenge. See,
Cypress Hill.
like I said, I was trolled and I thought the game ended. I forgot all about where it said Chapter 1 Revenge. Mm-hmm. Like if there's a Chapter 1, there has to be a Chapter 2. You get so wrapped up in this game, you forget about that little shit. Like, yeah. Oh, this is a Chapter 1 20 hours ago.
What do you think of the ponytail on Boss?
It's a good look.
I'd grab it while I'm fucking him.
Is this Quiet sing this? The main theme?
The melody is the little tune she hums.
Oh, I gotcha. Okay, so she's not verified, but this has to be her. 146,000. She's Dutch model actress.
Yeah,
based in Japan and the Netherlands. Yeah, dude, that's her. She just looks like her. That's cool.
Crazy.
And what am I looking for on here again? Didn't you say there's something on her Instagram?
I follow her because she's hot. I figured everybody should.
Oh. Well, I'm looking at this one picture of her eating an ice cream cone, and I gotta say, her tits aren't nearly as big as the one in this game.
Oh, it's just the fucking angle, man.
But I'm saying, like, I don't know, man. I think Hideo Kojima fucking took some liberties on them boobies.
I don't know.
Maybe next time I go to Japan, I'll run into her, man. It's not hard to spot the white people.
Mm-hmm.
I do want to go to Japan. I'm heavily leaning on going to Japan in January. I want to go back.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's this one picture of her that's really, really hot. It's like a model photo.
She's a beautiful woman. Oh shit! You're gonna see some like cool stuff you can unlock throughout the game, like my horse skin.
You should save your pennies, man, and then we can go to Japan. Come with me.
How much does that cost?
Well, I'm really good at buying airfare and traveling and organizing that stuff. And if you go with the right time, about the cheapest you can go to Japan for is about $1,000 round trip. But that's actually really cheap. Like it can get crazy expensive, but yeah, I mean it's still not chump change, so I get that. But Japan's fucking amazing, man. It's a party.
Mm-hmm.
We'd stay in a little bitty room that was the size of a closet, and we'd sleep on a little cot on the floor. Does that sound nice?
Don't they have like the little rooms, but then you move the thing and there's a big room in there?
Yeah, sometimes.
Remember that episode of King of the Hill?
Yeah. Oh, he's met his brother, this Japanese fucking.
And they sleep in just the little like one part the whole time, not realizing they could do that.
He looks like the fucker from Sons of Anarchy. He kind of looks like Jerry Cantrell without long hair. Imagine him with really long, fucking grungy hair. and a beanie.
And a big fat cock for it to suck.
This guy does a good impression of the guy that played Ocelot before. I think he does a good job.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see why they had to change him, though, because he's just kind of doing an impression of him, you know?
Yeah. It's weird what they did. A fucking ancestor of fucking Otacon is the same guy.
It sounds like the exact same guy. Is that the same actor?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, so maybe there must have been some kind of dispute with this actor then.
David Hayter?
No,
okay,
Ocelot guy, because the Ocelot guy is different.
Mm-hmm. I think he's different in like part 3. I think he's different in all of them, maybe.
Well, 3's like got a younger voice. He's much younger.
Yeah. No, it's the same guy in 1 and 2, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, which makes it all the weird too that they hired Kiefer Sutherland. I mean, if they were going to keep some of the same actors, because I get it. He said he hired Kiefer Sutherland for his facial expressions.
Queefer Sutherland.
For his facial expressions. Okay, so was it just a thing where he's like, well, I mean, if I hired him for his facial, I mean, maybe that's just fucking. I let him do the talking too. He couldn't let David Hayter do the talking. I don't know. At the end of the day, I'm not bothered by it like I thought I would be. He doesn't even talk that much, and I'm convinced that he mainly did it just to separate the characters of Solid Snake and Big Boss because they are different.
Yeah.
You know, and I can actually appreciate that, and that's actually cool with me. And the only reason is, like, because we've talked about this too in the past, he should have never been David Hayter in part 3.
Right. I'm glad they kept him though. By that time, I got used to.
Yeah, but it's a little inconsistent now that the series is all done and you think about it. But obviously, Konami wouldn't allow it. They're like, you're crazy. We got this hit on our hands, and you want to fucking change up your mascot? No, you got to make them the same. It's like, okay, because it becomes confusing. I get it. Big Boss in part 3. Everybody says, oh, he looks a lot different than Snake. Yeah, I guess if you're really going to nitpick, but come on, for the most part, he doesn't. And he's got the same voice, and I guess it becomes a little confusing. It makes you think that, like...
It makes sense, too, because they're clones.
I know, but Solid Snake's not the perfect clone. It blows me away when you play 2 and Solidus is the perfect clone. Like, really? It's just... I don't know.
That's just sequelitis. He wasn't really a character in part 1. They just needed another brother to show up.
Yeah, it's going to be like Triplets where, the new Schwarzenegger Danny DeVito movie.
It doesn't even really make sense with the project because it was like, oh, they had to make Liquid so that they could give him the recessive genes. And then, so why would they make a third one?
I don't know. I just think it's really silly in the first game to hear Solid Snake always go, Liquid! He's calling somebody Liquid.
Liquid! That's
really funny. Like, you're calling... I mean, Liquid and Solid. It's just such a fucking weird thing. So Liquid and Solid, as dumb as those names are, I guess they make sense because it's like, night and day. But Solidus, where the fuck does that name come from?
Yeah.
Liquid, Solid, Solidus.
Solidus.
Shouldn't have been
Gaseous.
Liquid Snake. If there was a third one, it should have been Liquid Snake, Solid Snake, and Gelatinous Snake.
Or Gas. Yeah.
Gas, yeah, Gaseous Snake. Jello Snake. I mean, you're not going to be able to see this on the actual finished product, but it's funny your connection's interrupting a lot.
Really?
Yeah, it's never happened before, but I mean, it comes back after a second. but I wonder what that's all about.
It's the Illuminati. The fucking Patriots are trying to stop us from revealing their secrets. Fucking assholes.
So how long is it going to take you to save Miller?
I'll do it real quick, and then we'll go ahead and end it.
Cool.
Oh, want to see something cool?
Yeah.
I'll do it right now. I forgot I had this.
Oh, there you go. Oh, sweet, man.
Fuck it, they can't see me at all. I'm John Cena in this bitch.
My brother mentioned something, and I didn't know what he was talking about. Is there a way to talk to Miller at any time, too, like you can Ocelot?
You'll see.
Okay, maybe I'll see later in the game, then. Because I still don't... See, I don't get enough Miller. Miller is a cool character.
Mm-hmm.
He's an angry character. You can tell he's bitter because he ain't got no arm. And is he blind? He acts like he's blind.
Maybe he's losing his sight with age or something.
He wants to wear the sunglasses, you know, because he talks about like
oh yeah, they did gouge out one of his eyes or something.
Oh, it's gouged out?
I think so. Maybe. It's been a while since I played through.
And he walks with a cane though. That's why I thought he has a cane. And I'm like, why would he have a cane if he's just missing an arm?
You remember who he is in Metal Gear Solid?
McDonald Miller.
McDonald Miller.
Who turns out to be Liquid, who killed him in his home in Alaska.
You actually play, he's involved in the mission in Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake, the MSX game.
Yeah, so I'd like to play those.
They're good. Like if you didn't get Kojima at the very beginning of this, you'll get to like...
I didn't, by the way.
They'll basically repackage this mission and you'll play through it again as a side mission. And, they're still going to see me with him on me. But yeah, whenever you do it all over again, he takes the mask off and it's Kojima. And he says something, I don't remember. I've been waiting for you or something, I forgot. It's pretty funny though. So I botched that.
Save his ass. Is he just laying there on the floor over there?
Mm-hmm. I dropped that bitch. Fuck him. He can suck a dick up till he hiccup.
Is he dead?
Oh, look, here's a pretty cool little upgrade you get to your Fulton later in the game.
An automatic?
This is why you want to fucking upgrade this shit. Check this out. A wormhole, baby. It don't matter how stormy it is. Stormy Daniels? Did you see it?
Why are you getting this fucking hurt?
Did you see it or did it cut out?
It cut out, but I saw him kind of get sucked up at the very last second.
Oh, okay.
Why are you fucking needing first aid spray on this one?
It's been a while, baby. We actually weren't planning on doing this game, so I was freshening up on Castlevania Symphony of the Night, but then we realized, there's some glitch, I can't stream it. I would have been playing this again.
Don't fucking die, dude.
I won't.
You look like you're gonna die.
I always look like that. I just gotta run. Fuck.
Take advantage of him and grab his nutsack. Squeeze it.
I would. You know, you can get through this mission a lot easier if you just tell the helicopter. Like, because if you go that way, the frog soldiers or whatever the fuck they're called.
I don't know what you're talking about.
The weird soldiers that show up.
The skulls.
The skulls, yeah.
The frogs.
I'm thinking of part 4 because there's like...
I don't even fucking remember that, man.
Maybe, I don't know. I could be fucking just making shit up. But yeah, you just tell them to come somewhere else and then it won't trigger that cutscene. I don't know why I did though, because we're demonstrating. But I guess we gotta end it. So, final thoughts.
My final thoughts is, if you had a robot hand, like Boss does, would you be going up to dudes a lot and, like, squeezing their nuts out of, like, intimidation? Because it wouldn't be gay because you can't feel it. It would just be like a power move. Like, fucking talk.
Like, fucking, what's his name for part 3?
Oh, Volgan, whatever his name is.
He, like, fucking grabs his nuts, and then he looks at it like, you're not Ivan.
Yeah. You'll pay what you did to Ivan. During that boss battle, he just says it all over, fucking over and over again. Yeah, he was gay to Ivan.
Mm-hmm. I was waiting for you in my room.
Another thing, by the way, I forgot one more theory I have. I doubt it's true, but this is just something I was kind of hoping. Like, I'm sure I'll learn it throughout the game, but it's like you'd think the way this series goes, everything kind of comes back full circle, and it's like Skullface has to be somebody. And I'm like, I know Volgan dies. Well, what if it was like Volgan? Because it would make sense. Obviously, he's a lot smaller than Volgan, but I mean, 20 years later, and he got fried in the third one. I think it was like an explosion or whatever. What if that was Volgan, you know? So I'm thinking about, maybe I'm making it more complicated, and when the game ends, it's none of this cool shit I wanted it to be. Like, it's just different people. But it just seems like in the lore of Metal Gear Solid, there's nobody that's just isolated to one event in a game. Like, they're always a part of the bigger picture, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And they always come back full circle. Like, it seems very un-Kojima that someone like Eli would just be Eli. Or someone like Skullface would just be Skullface. I feel like there's gonna be some connections, but I guess we'll just have to come back when I'm done with the game, and we'll see. We'll see how far off I was or whatever. But it's fun thinking about it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's wrap it up here. I think it's a good stopping point. We'll just kind of talk over his mullet here, that glorious mullet. Pretty cool.
Would you ever grow a mullet?
I mean, if I was an actor and they paid me to, sure.
I've had a mullet in my life.
Me too.
I have a picture of me. Yeah.
I could show you mine too. Yeah, when Home Improvement and Jonathan Taylor Thomas and they were all like the rage. They all had mullets.
What the fuck?
What? It's horrible. It's awful. And I remember, telling my mom, we were making jokes about mullets. My mom even like partook and made jokes too, and she was laughing. And I'm like, Mom, why the fuck are you laughing? You gave us mullets. I'm like, no, I didn't. I'm like, and I pulled out the pictures. I'm like, she's like, oh, that's a mullet? That's cute. I'm like, no, that's not cute at all. She didn't know what the fuck we're making fun of.
What did she think it was?
I don't know. She was
Like
just
the fucking 90s skateboard cut.
I don't know, but she's like, she was contributing to the problem and she didn't realize it. And we went through our bowl cut phase too.
Mm-hmm.
Bowl cuts were fucking huge. You ever seen a grown man with a bowl cut? No. It's like, if you ever seen a grown man with a bowl cut, dude, it's the fucking silliest fucking thing. I'm like, dude, you're older than 8 years old.
Anytime I see those cuts where they kind of do that, but they shave it higher and leave hair on the very top, I think of bowl cuts. I've seen grown men with that.
Yeah, it's pretty stupid, regardless. But anyway, that's all we got, man. So you guys are obviously watching this on YouTube. Please like and subscribe. Click the stupid bell. And
Don't
make sure you
fucking
What?
Don't. I'm telling them, don't fucking spoil anything in the comments, baby. Let them find out.
Yeah, don't do that, man. I'm gonna try and power through the game. I work a job, man. We got 5 kids to feed, man. I can only play this so fast. I don't have 5 kids. But anyway, you're on YouTube. Click that stupid bell. Make sure you tell that bell that you want to be alerted every single time we upload a video. Leave us feedback. Ask us questions. Make recommendations on what you want us to play next. We would really like to start maybe going off some of that stuff instead of twiddling our thumbs and trying to argue on what to play. But also, I want you guys to also check out, we're on YouTube, these are on YouTube as well. Check out our normal thing, which our normal thing is doing film commentaries. Those drop once a week. Lately, we've been doing a lot of TV commentaries for things like anthology series like Twilight Zone and Tales from the Crypt, stuff like that. Check out Mac and Zach Save the World. They have a YouTube as well. It's got Zach here along with Mitchell, Mac, and they do film commentaries as well. Sometimes they do drunk commentaries. They're really hilarious.
Yeah, we just got a fucking Instagram today. You know what you should do? You should take a picture of your screen and say, hey, I'm doing an RR, and then post it, and that's some behind the scenes footage that you'll get. That's the kind of updates you'll get if you follow us on Instagram, baby.
So, you know what? I'll do it now. I'll take a little
You got to do it. You got to know what we're doing before it happens. Because everybody listen now, you would have known that if you were following it.
So I just I took a picture for the feed. But yeah, so
take a picture of Quiet's titties. Right there.
We're gonna start posting like, for example, Zach, when we do our film commentaries and stuff, I think you should take those fucking brilliant thumbnails you make and put them on Instagram so a broader audience can see them, and then of course link the new episode down there, right, in the iTunes and shit.
Hell yeah,
that's what we should do. Because I think we should even backlog them. I think we should start going through them and even like posting, because dude, some of those pictures are fucking hilarious. I love that Donkey Lips picture, man. It's so great.
Donkey dick. I
think it's gonna change the world. I think you should have tagged Michael Bauer in it personally, but it's okay.
You can.
I might. I don't want him to fucking like flag us and get butthurt. He complains and bitches about everything. He'll probably bitch about it. But
we should try to get him on an episode.
We definitely could. It wouldn't be hard at all.
We need to talk about the flat Earth and try to get him to come out of his crazy, like, just get him to go off on crazy tangents. Just pretend like we're like, yeah, we believe that shit too. What do you think of this? What do you think of the hollow Earth theory?
Dude, that would be fucking amazing, man. I got a buddy at work, and all we do is talk about those fuckers that believe in flat Earth, and it's just an ongoing joke. That would be amazing if I got him on there, and I was actually, we had that podcast, and that's a good segue. Get him on the deep end to talk about it. That'd be great, man. Maybe I should reach out to him. Maybe I should. And just listen to this batshit crazy guy go off for fucking out. I'd probably have to shut him up. I'd probably have to like cut him off. Like, okay, we got to wrap up, bro.
We'd have to take a couple months to just pretend, like, keep the kayfabe going. Because if we put it out and right away we're like, listen to this crazy fuck, he might get angry.
What's he gonna do, man?
We're gonna burn that bridge so easily.
He's gonna eat us. I don't care. Like, oh, what? He's not gonna hook us up with any cast members from Dude, Where's My Car?
He won't hook us up with a commentary for another
episode. Evolution.
I was thinking of another episode from Salute Your Shores, but
yeah, I would fucking dog the guy, but we can disagree. I mean, it's fine. He's weird, but anyway, yeah, Deep End with Aaron Lipscomb. That's a good segue into that. That's the kind of podcast we would get him on for. You can find that on this same YouTube channel as well. So yeah, and also if you guys do fancy podcasts and you've never been here before, also check the links that are all over those videos, and it'll lead you to our iTunes, and you can also find us on Google Play and Stitcher and things like that. But click that link to iTunes if that's your poison. Leave us 5-star ratings. Leave us a nice little review if you see so fit, because that stuff goes a long way. The more reviews we can get and the more ratings we can get, the more noticeability we'll have. So that is very much appreciated. That's all I got. Zach, you got any final words?
I love fucking schoolboys.
That's perfect. Bye-bye, puppets.
Oh my god. Oh, that'll probably get beeped out.
No, don't.
Oh my god. I was gonna say I desperately want to make love to a schoolboy, but then I remember I already made that joke. So then I changed it on the fly, and that happened.
Came out horrible. No, dude, it's fucking funny.